Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel, World Snap. In this World Snap Originals episode, let's talk about brief history of Google. In 1995 at Stanford, computer science graduates, Paige and Brian, collaborated in a research project to do web backlink analysis. The project resulted in a company that changed the internet. Dougal. Dougal is a play on words of Google, which is a mathematical term for the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. It is said that this reflects the founder's vision to organize the infinite amount of information on the internet. In 1995, Paige and Brian met at Stanford University while they were graduate students in computer. Later the pair began co-writing a program or a search engine dubbed Backrub. It is named after its ability to do a backlink analysis. The outcome is summarized in a widely popular research paper titled The Anatomy of a Large-Scale Hypertextual Web Search Engine. The search engine was unique in that it used technology they developed called PageRank. The rank would determine their website's relevance by taking into account the number of pages along with the importance of the pages that linked back to the original site. At that time, search engines such as Yahoo ranked results based on how often a search term appeared on the web page, fueled by the rare reviews that Backrub received. Paige and Brian began working on developing Google. It was very much a shoestring project at that time, operating out of their dorm rooms. The pair built a server network using cheap, used and borrowed personal computers. They even maxed their credit cards, buying terabytes of disks at discount prices. The first version of Google was released in 1996 on the Stanford website. The domain, google.com, was registered a year later after more development. The Google search engine eventually turned into a hot commodity. Sun Microsystems co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim was so impressed that after a quick demo of Google, he told the pair, instead of discussing all the details, "Why don't I just write you a check?" Check was for $100,000 and it was made out to Google, and, despite the fact that Google as a legal entity did not exist yet, the next step didn't take long. However, Paige and Brian incorporated on September 4, 1998. The check also enabled them to raise $900,000 more for their initial round of funding. Other angel investors included Amazon founder Jeff Bezos with sufficient funds. Google opened its first office in Menlo Park, California, in their friend Susan Kiki's garage, who eventually became an executive at Google. On June 7, 1999, a run of equity funding totaling $25 million was announced by major investors, being rival-led venture capital firms Kleiner, Perkins, Caulfield, and Byers and Sequoia Capital. While Google is still needed more funding for their further expansion, Brian and Paige were hesitant to take the company public, despite their financial issues. The Google search engine attracted a loyal following among the growing number of internet users who liked it. In 2000, Google began selling advertisements associated with search keywords. Keywords were sold based on a combination of price, bid, and click. There is with bidding starting at 5 cents per click, following the investment. So investors encouraged Brian and Paige to hire a CEO. In October 2003, while discussing a possible initial public offering of shares IPO, Microsoft approached the company about a possible partnership or merger. The deal never materialized. 4 months later, Google announced an IPO to raise as much as $4 billion after quickly outgrowing other sites. The company leased a complex of buildings in Mountain View at 1600 Amphitheater. The company has remained at this location ever since, and the complex has become known as the Googleplex. Google quietly acquired Android in 2005 for an undisclosed price, which has been estimated at $50 million. Buying Android was Google's best deal ever, said David Lowy, vice president of corporate development at The Search. Android is a mobile operating system based on the modified version of the Linux kernel. It is designed primarily for touchscreen mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets. In addition, Google has further developed Android TV for televisions, Android Auto for cars, and Wear OS for wrist watches, each with a specialized user interface. During the period of rapid growth, the company introduced a variety of products, including Gmail, Google Docs, Google Drive, a web browser, Chrome or smart speaker, Google Home Broadband, Google F self-driving cars, and numerous other ventures. It also acquired streaming video platform, YouTube. Advertising revenue generated by search requests remains its biggest earnings driver. In 2015, Google underwent a restructuring of divisions and personnel under the conglomerate name Alphabet. Brian became president of the newly formed parent company, while Larry Page is the CEO. His position at Google is filled with the promotion of Sundar Pichai in early 2016. Alphabet surpassed Apple to become the world's most valuable publicly traded company. For some weeks, Google.com is the most powerful and popular search engine in processing more than 40,000 search queries every second, which means 3.5 billion searches per day and typically 1.2 trillion searches per year. What do you know about Google and Alphabet? Tell us in the comments. Also check out our other videos. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe World Snap.